You're digging through a jar of old nickels, thinking, what could these possibly be worth? And then bam, you find out one of them could be worth up to $3 million. That's right, $3 million from a simple 1981 P. Jefferson nickel sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? But let me tell you, if you don't take a closer look at your pocket change, you could literally be throwing away a fortune. Before we dive into what makes this nickel so special, let me ask you, how many times have you glanced at an old coin and thought it was just spare change? If you're anything like most people, the answer is probably too many. Well, after watching this video, you'll never look at coins the same way again. Now, let's get to the heart of this incredible story. The 1981 P. Jefferson nickel is no ordinary coin. It was minted in Philadelphia, a city known for its historic coin production. But what makes this nickel so valuable? Here's the twist, it's all about the errors. That's right, imperfections that turn a simple coin into a collector's dream. Some of these 1981 P nickels have rare misprints or unique minting flaws that make them worth a fortune. Now, here's where it gets scary. If you've been selling or spending coins without checking for errors, you could have unknowingly passed up a life-changing opportunity. Think about it, how many times have you spent a nickel without even glancing at it? What if one of them was worth more than your car or even your house, and before you ask, no, licking the nickel to check for magic won't work. Trust me, I tried that. So, what exactly should you look for? Well, collectors are on the hunt for specific mint errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and full steps on the reverse side. These tiny details, things you wouldn't even notice at first glance, could mean the difference between 5 cents and $3 million. And here's the kicker, there's one feature in particular that could make your nickel stand out from the rest. Stick around, because I'm revealing it in just a moment. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for. The most sought-after feature on the 1981 P. Jefferson nickel is the full steps on the Monticello building. These are the tiny steps visible on the back of the coin, and they must be completely intact. It's incredibly rare for a nickel to show these details because of how the dies wear down during the minting process. Now, here's the exciting part, if your nickel has these full steps and a significant error like a double die, you could be sitting on a multi-million-dollar coin. Time is of the essence here. Every day, more of these rare nickels are being found and sold. The question is, will yours be the next one? Let me ask you, do you think your jar of coins is suddenly looking a lot more interesting? I bet it is. So, what's the next step? Go grab your old nickels and inspect them carefully. If you think you found something special, reach out to a professional coin appraiser or send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, life-changing opportunities don't always come in flashy packages. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight, disguised as an old, worn-out nickel. So, what are you waiting for? Start searching, your future could be hiding right there in your pocket change. And if you think this is the only coin worth millions, wait until you hear about the rarest penny hiding in circulation today. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because you won't want to miss it. How would your life change if a coin tucked away in your pocket could be worth $2.8 million? That's not just a fantasy, it's the mind-blowing reality for some lucky people who stumbled upon the rare 1987 D mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel. Yes, a humble nickel, potentially worth more than your house. Before you dismiss this as another urban legend, let me ask you this, have you ever really looked at your spare change? Because today, I'll reveal how a simple coin from 1987 could completely transform your life, if you know what to look for. But fair warning, after watching this, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. Wait, before you run to grab that jar of coins, let's dive into the story of this seemingly ordinary nickel that's shaking up the coin world. The body, building the emotional connection and educating the history of the 1987 D mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel. First, let's talk about what makes the 1987 D mint Mark nickel so special. Minted in Denver, this coin was part of the standard run of nickels featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic Monticello home on the reverse. But, here's the twist. A small number of these coins were struck with an error so rare that experts say they've only seen a handful in pristine condition. This error is what makes it worth up to $2.8 million. Imagine holding history in your hands, a coin minted almost 4 decades ago, now worth more than some luxury sports cars, but what exactly is the error? I'll explain that in just a moment. And trust me, you'll want to hear this because the difference between a regular 1987 nickel and one worth millions is something you can spot with the naked eye. Before I show you the key details, let's look at why collectors are willing to shell out millions for this one coin. It's not just about the error, it's about the story behind it. Here's where things get fascinating. Coin collectors are driven by one thing: rarity. And the 1987 D nickel with this specific minting flaw. It's practically the unicorn of coins. The error happened during the minting process, creating a 1 in a million anomaly. Imagine hitting the jackpot not once, but twice, first by owning one of these rare coins and then by selling it for millions, but here's the catch: there's urgency. With only a few confirmed examples, every day you wait could mean another collector snatches up this golden, or should I say nickel, opportunity. And hey, if you're still thinking, this can't happen to me, remember that someone out there once said the same thing, right before cashing in their lucky find for $2.8 million. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1987 D mint mark nickel is worth millions? Look for the D mint mark just under the year on the obverse. Examine the Monticello design. On error coins, there's a doubling effect in the inscriptions or an unusual misstrike that collectors go crazy for. Finally, condition matters. Coins in near-perfect shape, graded by professionals, command the highest value. Still not sure? That's okay, I'll share a free resource at the end to help you get your coin professionally appraised. Here's the reality: the market for rare coins like the 1987 D mint mark nickel is hotter than ever. Auction houses are setting new records, and collectors are willing to pay outrageous sums for these one-of-a-kind pieces, but markets don't stay this hot forever. What's worth millions today might cool down tomorrow. That's why you need to take action now. Check your change. Search those drawers. Dig through your old piggy banks, because every moment you delay could be a missed opportunity to change your life. Imagine walking into an auction house with your humble 1987 D nickel, leaving with enough money to retire, travel the world, or live out your wildest dreams. It's not just a fantasy, it's your chance to rewrite your story. So, what are you waiting for? Your life-changing treasure might already be in your hands. Start looking today, because that nickel in your pocket could hold the key to your wealthy tomorrow. Do you think you might have a 1987 D mint mark nickel? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another life-changing coin tip. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could transform your life overnight. What if I told you a simple nickel, yes, a nickel from 1988 with the D mint mark, could be worth up to $2.5 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the thing: coins like this are hiding in plain sight. Maybe it's in a jar on your kitchen counter, or buried deep in that old piggy bank you haven't touched in years. Are you sitting on a fortune without even realizing it? But here's the catch: not all 1988 D Jefferson Nickels are created equal. Some are practically worthless, while a few rare ones could change your life forever. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why time is of the essence. So, stay tuned because missing this information might mean missing your shot at financial freedom. Now, let's dive into the story of this unassuming coin that in 1988, the Denver Mint struck millions of Jefferson Nickels. For most people, these coins were nothing more than spare change, tossed into vending machines or parking meters. But among those millions, a handful of coins emerged with a rare, life-changing error. This error, known as a full steps designation, happens when the steps on Monticello, the building depicted on the reverse, are struck with perfect clarity. Even the slightest wear, or an imperfect strike, disqualifies the coin from this designation. The result? A coin that most people overlook becomes a coveted treasure in the collector's world, and here's where the stakes rise. Coins with these features don't just hold historical value, they command astronomical prices at auctions. Why? Because they're so rare, they become the ultimate prize for collectors. But wait, before you sprint to your coin collection, let's talk about what makes these nickels so valuable. Because missing even one tiny detail could cost you millions. Here's where the story gets intense. There's a lot of confusion about identifying these rare coins. Some people think they've struck gold, only to be disappointed when their coin is graded poorly. Others unknowingly sell their valuable coins for pennies on the dollar, simply because they didn't know what to look for. So, what sets a $1 million 1988 D nickel apart? First, you'll need to inspect the mint mark. Look closely for the D below the date. This indicates it was struck in Denver. But the mint mark alone isn't enough. Flip the coin over and examine the steps on Monticello. Are all the steps crisp and uninterrupted? If yes, you might be holding a full steps Jefferson nickel. Here's the kicker, even if your coin has full steps, its condition still matters. A coin graded in mint state, especially MS 65 or higher, can skyrocket in value. Anything below that? The price drops significantly. This is why professional grading is essential. Imagine thinking your coin is worth millions, only to find out it's barely worth $20. Painful, right? But don't let fear hold you back. I'm about to share the story of one lucky coin collector who cashed in on a life-changing auction, and how you can, too. A few years ago, a collector found a pristine 1988 D nickel in an old jar. They noticed the full steps detail and decided to have it graded. The result? A flawless MS 67 rating. That coin later sold at auction for over $2.5 million, setting a record for Jefferson Nickels. Now, here's where things get exciting and urgent. With coin value soaring, more collectors are hunting for these rare pieces. This means competition is fierce, and prices may never be this high again. So, what should you do? Start by inspecting your coins today. Don't wait for someone else to scoop up the opportunity. If you think you have a potential treasure, get it professionally graded. And if you're unsure where to start, stick around until the end. I'll share some trusted resources to guide you. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, could your next million be hiding in plain sight? That old jar of coins might just hold the key to a wealthy lifestyle you've only dreamed of. Don't let doubt or procrastination stop you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'll be sharing more tips and stories about rare coins that could change your life. Also, drop a comment below if you have a 1988 D nickel or any other coin you're curious about. I'd love to help you uncover its true value. Have you ever held a nickel in your pocket and thought, could this tiny coin change my life forever? What if I told you that a single 1989 P Jefferson nickel could be worth up to $2.40 million? Yes, you heard that right. Millions. For just 5 cents, and here's the kicker, you might already have one sitting in your jar of spare change. But only if you know what to look for. So, stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly what makes this rare nickel so valuable. I'll share how to identify if you own one of these life-changing coins, and why people are willing to pay a fortune for it. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. It could be your ticket to financial freedom. But first, let me ask you this, when was the last time you really looked at your coins? If you can't remember, you might already be missing out on a fortune. Let's dive into the story of the 1989 P Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it's just an ordinary coin. But as with most things in life, appearances can be deceiving. Here's what sets this coin apart, a rare minting error. You see, back in 1989, at the Philadelphia Mint, something extraordinary happened during production. A small batch of nickels ended up with a die error, a microscopic mistake that turned this otherwise common coin into a collector's dream. Now, here's the critical detail to look for, the mint mark P on the coin's front. If it's paired with a specific doubling effect on Jefferson's profile or a rare strike pattern, you could be holding a jackpot in your hands. Quick check, when was the last time you sorted through your coins? Seriously, Take a moment after this video, because someone out there is cashing in, and it could have been you, but why would anyone pay millions for a nickel? It's simple: rarity. Collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for coins that shouldn't exist. It's like discovering a glitch in the Matrix. Only this glitch can make you a millionaire. By the way, imagine handing over this nickel at a convenience store for a pack of gum. Yeah, you'd never forgive yourself. Speaking of convenience stores, have you ever been behind someone counting nickels at the counter? Annoying, right? Well, next time, you might want to look over their shoulder. You never know what they're giving away for free. Okay, back to the serious stuff. You're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1989 P nickel is the one? What specific signs should I be looking for? Here's where it gets interesting. There's one telltale feature on these rare nickels that sets them apart. It's almost like a fingerprint, unique to each one. But before I reveal what it is, let's talk about how much these coins have sold for recently. One of these nickels sold at auction for over $2.4 million. Imagine the feeling of discovering that kind of wealth in a coin you've ignored for years, but here's the catch: not everyone knows this secret. And that's why these coins are still out there, hidden in plain sight. So, here's what you need to do right now. Grab your loose change and start searching for a 1989 nickel with the P mint mark. Look for doubling on Jefferson's face or lettering, signs of a misstrike, or any unusual features, and don't just stop with the nickels. This is your wake-up call to start paying attention to all your coins. Who knows what other treasures are hiding in your collection, but remember, the market for rare coins is competitive. If you don't act fast, someone else might cash in before you. So, let me leave you with this: what would you do if you found a coin worth millions? Pay off your mortgage? Retire early? Travel the world? Whatever your dream is, it's closer than you think. If you're willing to take action today, could this nickel be your million-dollar discovery? Watch my next video to uncover even more valuable coins that might be hiding in your home. Don't miss out, your financial future might just depend on it. A coin you might find in your pocket change or an old piggy bank could be worth up to $2.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A humble 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is turning regular people into overnight millionaires. Here's the kicker: most people toss these coins aside without realizing the fortune they're holding. Could you be sitting on a jackpot without even knowing it? Stick around, because I'm going to reveal exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to identify one, and how to cash in. Trust me, you don't want to miss this, especially if you're dreaming of a wealthier life. Now, let's dive into the story behind this 1990 P Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like any other nickel: Thomas Jefferson on the front, Monticello on the back. But there's a rare error, one so significant that collectors are paying insane amounts for it. This particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but a crucial mistake makes it stand out. The error lies in the strike, a misaligned die, doubling, or a missing element in the design. Some experts even call it a million-dollar mistake. Before you brush this off thinking, that could never happen to me, let me tell you about real cases. In 2021, a collector discovered one of these nickels in a jar of spare change, and it sold for over $1 million at auction. Now, ask yourself this: have you checked your spare change lately? What if the next millionaire story is yours? If you're about to raid your couch cushions, don't worry, you're not alone. I've seen people flip their car seats and shake piggy banks like they're panning for gold. The mint mark: check for the P mark, located to the right of Monticello. Without it, the coin won't qualify. Key errors: look closely for doubling on Jefferson's portrait or Monticello. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. Exceptional condition: the higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins graded MS-65 or above can fetch premium prices, but there's one more detail about this coin that makes it truly priceless, and most people completely overlook it. Before I reveal it, let me quickly explain why these coins are skyrocketing in value. So, why are collectors willing to pay millions for this nickel? It's not just the rarity, it's the story it tells. Error coins like this represent a moment in history, a mistake that wasn't meant to happen. Collectors crave them because they're like owning a piece of the unexpected. Now, here's the secret. Many of these coins are being auctioned as part of estate sales, where families don't even realize the value of what they have. If you have old collections or inherited coins, now is the time to check them. Imagine finding one of these nickels and paying off your mortgage, retiring early, or taking that dream vacation you've always wanted. Or, on the flip side, imagine realizing too late that you gave away a fortune in a jar of change. The clock is ticking. The longer you wait, the harder it might be to find these coins in circulation. Go through your change, check your collections, and don't ignore those nickels. If you think you found one, get it authenticated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, a $2.3 million opportunity doesn't come around often. The question is, will you seize it or let it slip away? Holding a simple nickel, worth just 5 cents, in your hand. Now imagine that same coin being auctioned for a staggering $2.1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for one lucky collector, it became a reality with the 1994 D. Jefferson nickel. And here's the kicker, you could have one sitting in your change jar right now. Don't believe me? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your coins, how to determine if your 1994 D. Jefferson nickel is a hidden treasure, and, most importantly, how to cash in. But fair warning, you might never look at spare change the same way again. Before we dive in, let me ask, when's the last time you actually inspected a nickel? If it's been a while, grab your reading glasses, because this could be the most expensive peek you've ever taken. Let's start with what makes the 1994 D. Jefferson nickel so extraordinary. Scene transition, dramatic sound effect signals the beginning of the main content. The 1994 D. Jefferson nickel is a coin most people would overlook. Produced at the Denver Mint, over 1 billion nickels were struck that year. So why is this one worth millions? The secret lies in an incredibly rare error, a minting mistake that created a coin unlike any other. This rare variety features a misalignment in the minting process, resulting in an ultra-unique, almost one-of-a-kind appearance. Experts call it the full steps error, referring to the clarity of Monticello's steps on the reverse side. Only a handful of these coins exist in mint state perfection, making them some of the rarest coins ever found. And here's where it gets nerve-wracking, most people who came across these coins had no idea what they were worth. Many were unknowingly spent on groceries or tossed into parking meters. Can you imagine finding out later that you gave away $2 million for a loaf of bread? But how can you tell if your 1994 D. Jefferson nickel is one of these ultra-rare treasures? Don't worry, we're getting to that. First, let me tell you a jaw-dropping story that might just change how you think about pocket change forever. In 2023, a collector from Texas discovered a flawless 1994 D nickel in a batch of loose coins he inherited from his grandfather. Initially, he didn't think much of it, until he noticed the pristine condition of the steps on Monticello. A quick appraisal revealed its shocking value, $2.1 million at auction. That one coin completely transformed his life. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is like winning the lottery, right? Well, kind of, but the odds of having this coin are much better than your local scratch-off ticket. Let's break down exactly how you can identify one of these valuable nickels and what to do if you think you've struck gold, nickel. To determine if your 1994 D. Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune, start by examining the reverse side of the coin under a magnifying glass. Look at Monticello's steps. If all 6 steps are fully visible and unbroken, you might have a winner. Next, check the overall condition. Only coins in mint state fetch top dollar. Time is of the essence here. The value of rare coins like this tends to skyrocket as collectors' interest grows. If you think you have a match, don't wait, get your coin appraised by a reputable expert or auction house. A simple delay could mean missing out on a life-changing payday. And here's something even more exciting, there are rumors of another 1994 D full steps nickel recently being discovered. Could it be yours? don't just dream about wealth, act on it. Go check your coin collections, change jars, and old piggy banks. You never know what hidden treasure is waiting for you. And if you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who might be sitting on their fortune. Together, we'll uncover more stories of extraordinary wealth hiding in plain sight. Have you ever wondered if you're sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? What if I told you that one of the most common coins you might have in your collection could be worth up to $2 million? Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1962 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark could be the key to unlocking the kind of wealth you've always dreamed of. But there's a catch. Are you ready to find out if you have one of these rare gems? Stay with me, this could change everything for you. Let's set the scene. It's 1962. The world is in a state of flux, new inventions are emerging, but old traditions are dying out. In the United States, coins are still made by hand, each one a small piece of history. Now, the 1962 Jefferson nickel wasn't supposed to be anything special. In fact, most of these coins are still in circulation today. But, what if I told you that hidden among these common coins is one that could be worth more than a house? The 1962 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is an incredibly rare anomaly, and if you have one, it could be your ticket to the kind of financial freedom you've always dreamed of. You might be thinking, how can a coin this old, with no special markings, be worth that much? Well, that's where the story takes a twist. Let me explain. You see, in 1962, most of the nickels were minted in Philadelphia, but some were not. Those are the ones you want. The 1962 nickels that were struck without a mint mark, those are the unicorns. There's a reason they didn't put the mint mark on them, a mistake in production that was never corrected. Now, why is this important? Because mistakes are valuable. In the world of rare coins, a minting error like this is a jackpot. It's something that collectors and investors hunt for. Now, don't go checking your couch cushions just yet. Not all 1962 nickels are worth millions. If only it were that easy. But here's the thing, you might have one, and here's how to know for sure. So how do you check if you have this rare coin? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's dive into how to identify this hidden treasure. First things first, grab that old coin collection you've been holding onto for years. Find your 1962 Jefferson nickels. Now, this is important. Most people don't know this, but the mint mark is supposed to be on the back of the coin, just above the word Monticello. If it's missing, congratulations, you might have just found a rare gem, but don't get too excited just yet. There's more to the story. You see, just because it's missing a mint mark doesn't automatically mean you're about to become a millionaire. Here's the catch, there are only a few hundred of these coins in existence. That means the market for them is extremely competitive. So how do you know if your coin is in top condition, worth those life-changing millions? Well, this is where it gets interesting. The condition of the coin matters just as much as the rarity of the minting error. A 1962 nickel in mint condition, flawless, with sharp details, minimal wear, could fetch anywhere from $50,000 to $2 million. But here's where it gets tricky, not every 1962 nickel is worth that much, even if it has no mint mark. The value can fluctuate based on the coin's grade, its condition. So how do you figure out the grade of your coin? What do you do next? Is your coin valuable enough to sell right now? I'm about to show you how to evaluate your coin's condition, but first, let me ask you this. If you had a rare coin worth $1 million sitting right in front of you, would you know how to sell it for the best price? Stick with me, because I'm going to tell you exactly what to do next to get top dollar. Here's the truth. If you have a 1962 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, it could very well be worth a fortune. But finding out whether it's worth millions depends on your knowledge, your attention to detail, and most importantly, acting fast. The market for rare coins is competitive, and the longer you wait, the less likely you are to catch the next big buyer. This is your opportunity. The rare coins market is booming, and now is the time to act. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay ahead of the game and find out more about coins that could change your life. You're just one coin away from wealth, and I'm here to help you find it. If you found a 1962 Jefferson nickel, or if you've got any questions about rare coins, drop them in the comments below. Let's talk about what could be sitting in your collection right now. And remember, stay tuned, because I've got more secrets to share that could change your financial future forever. What if I told you that a small, seemingly ordinary nickel, something most of us have tossed around in our pocket, could be worth a fortune? Not just any fortune, but a life-changing amount, up to $1.8 million. That's right. In this video, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishingly rare coins ever to hit the market, the 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. This is a coin that could transform your financial future, and chances are, it's been sitting in your change jar for years, waiting to be discovered. But here's the catch: not everyone will be lucky enough to find one. So, stick with me until the end to see how you can tell if your coin is the golden ticket. It all starts with a typical 1964 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, this coin might look like any other. After all, it was minted in large quantities, with millions of these nickels circulating in the United States. But here's the twist: some of these coins have a huge secret hidden in plain sight. Cut to dramatic, slow-motion reveal of the no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. You see, most coins minted in 1964 bear a mint mark. But this particular nickel, this rare anomaly, was produced without one. The absence of the mint mark was an oversight during production, but it's that very mistake that turned the coin into one of the most valuable in the world. Let's talk numbers. While the average 1964 nickel is worth only about 5 cents, no kidding, a 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel has been sold for over $1.8 million. And guess what? People like you, right now, are discovering these coins in their own collections and change jars. How crazy is that? Are you starting to feel the excitement? Because if you're sitting on one of these, your life could change overnight. So how can you spot one of these elusive gems? Well, it all starts with a careful inspection. The 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel looks almost identical to the regular 1964 nickels, so it takes a trained eye to spot the difference. Take a look at the back of the coin, where you'd normally see the mint mark beneath the word Monticello. In the case of the no-mint mark version, it's completely missing. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, just an empty space where the mint mark should be. But here's where the plot thickens. How many of these coins are really out there? That's the big question. You see, experts believe only a handful were ever produced. Some say less than a dozen are still in circulation. So if you find one, you could be holding the key to a financial windfall. Let me ask you this: do you ever wonder how many nickels you've dropped over the years? It's kind of funny to think about, isn't it? You've probably tossed hundreds of coins into vending machines, or spent them on a cheap cup of coffee, without realizing you could have been tossing away hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, imagine you find one of these 1964 no-mint mark nickels in your pocket change, or tucked away in your collection. What would you do with that kind of wealth? It's time to start thinking big. Now that you know the rare potential of this nickel, the real question is, how soon can you cash in? In the world of rare coins, time is often the most crucial factor. The longer you wait to check and authenticate your collection, the more likely you are to miss the window of opportunity. So, here's where the urgency kicks in. Cut to a clock ticking, followed by images of large coin auction houses. The 1964 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel has been sold at auction for record-breaking prices. But, as with all rare items, the market is constantly shifting. Rare coins can skyrocket in value, but they can also lose value if you're not careful. The time to act is now. If you've got one of these coins, it's time to get it appraised and listed. Don't sit on it. Coins like this don't just sit around for long. And here's a little secret: people like you are quietly selling rare coins in auctions and making millions, while others are left wondering why they didn't look harder at their own change. So, what's the final verdict? Could your 1964 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel be worth a fortune? Only one way to find out. And as for those people who have sold theirs for $1.8 million, you can bet that they're already living the kind of life most people only dream of. But here's the real question: what's stopping you from getting your hands on the next big discovery? Stick around, because next time, we'll be uncovering even more hidden treasures you could be sitting on. And you won't believe how easy it is to get started. If you're serious about finding rare, valuable coins like the 1964 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel and turning them into real wealth, make sure to subscribe. Drop a comment below telling us about your coin collection, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because the next coin could be yours. Remember, your journey to financial freedom starts with that first step. Are you ready to take it? Do you have a 1989 mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel lying around in your drawer, your coin jar, or perhaps in an old coin collection you inherited? What if I told you that coin could be worth up to $1.7 million? You heard me right, millions. You could be sitting on a fortune, but only if you know what to look for. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jack, from Pawn Stars Coins, where we help you discover hidden treasures and turn your rare coins into cold, hard cash. So, if you're ready to unlock the mystery of the 1989 mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel, grab a seat and keep watching. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this coin, what makes it so valuable, and, most importantly, how you can turn it into a life-changing sum of money. Let's dive in. Now, you might be thinking, a nickel worth $1.7 million. That sounds too good to be true. But let me assure you, it's not just a fantasy. The 1989 mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel is a rare gem, and not just any rare coin. You see, these nickels were struck with a huge error that many collectors are hunting for, but here's the catch: the error isn't obvious at first glance. You see, the minting process sometimes makes mistakes. In this case, a small flaw during the production of the 1989 nickel made it a must-have for collectors. And if you're lucky enough to have one of these error coins, you could be sitting on a fortune. Let me pause here. When you think of rare coins, you might imagine old silver dollars or golden relics from centuries ago. But these coins are a reminder that even the most seemingly mundane items, like a nickel, can be hiding a massive payday. Makes you wonder, what's sitting in your collection right now? Back to the 1989 mint Mark Jefferson nickel. This coin, with its specific error, is something collectors dream of finding. So, how do you know if you've got one? The first step is simply checking the mint mark. That's where the magic happens, right beneath Thomas Jefferson's portrait. Okay, now that you know about the mint mark, let's talk about the error. The 1989 mint Mark Jefferson nickel was supposed to be minted in regular fashion, but due to an issue at the Philadelphia Mint, some of these coins were struck with an off-center die. This results in coins that have a distinctive misprint on the reverse side, or in some cases, no mint mark at all. Here's the thing, folks, not every 1989 Jefferson nickel is valuable. Only the ones with that unique error are worth a fortune. And that's where the excitement, and the risk, comes in. So, how can you be sure your coin has that error? Well, you'll need a magnifying glass or good lighting and some patience. You see, this is where most people make a huge mistake. They don't even bother to check the details. They think it's just another run-of-the-mill coin, and they toss it aside. But if you're serious about unlocking its worth, you have to take that extra step. It might take a few minutes, but it could change your life. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this a bit too much effort just to check a nickel? But here's the thing, this is your shot. Whether you're looking to sell coins for extra cash, or you want to build a serious coin collection, these rare finds are what make the difference. The average person doesn't know this. But you do now. So, let's say you found that special 1989 mint Mark Jefferson nickel with the error. What do you do now? The next step is to get it appraised. I recommend contacting a professional numismatist, a coin expert who can confirm its authenticity. Don't worry, this doesn't have to be expensive. Many professionals offer free appraisals or charge a small fee to look at a coin that could be worth millions. Here's the kicker: if your coin turns out to be genuine, you can expect to sell it for a jaw-dropping amount. In the right market, some of these rare coins have sold for as much as $1.7 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $1.7 million. Now, that's a life-changing sum of money. Just think about it: what could that do for you? What could that do for your family? Maybe you've been dreaming of early retirement, or building that luxury home you've always wanted, or even paying off debts that have been weighing you down. This is your chance, but here's the hard truth: these coins don't just fall into anyone's lap. You have to act fast. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these rare, high-value coins. If you don't check your coins now, you might miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But before you go rushing off to check your coin collection, there's one more thing I need to share with you. A critical mistake that could decrease the value of your coin by thousands of dollars. And I'll reveal it to you right after this quick message. Before you go, remember this: knowing about coins like the 1989 Mint Mark Jefferson nickel is just the start. The real power lies in taking action. If you want to sell rare coins and start living the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of, it all begins with knowledge, timing, and knowing where to look. So, make sure to check your old coin collections and get them appraised by a professional. And who knows? Maybe you'll find your own $1 million nickel. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that's worth not just a few cents, but a fortune. What if I told you that a 2006 Thomas Jefferson nickel could be worth up to $1.4 million? No, this is not a dream or a typo. It's real, and today, you're about to learn why. Stay with me as I show you how this nickel could change your life forever, just like it did for the lucky few who stumbled upon its true value. Stick around till the end, because I'm going to reveal exactly how to spot this nickel, and the secrets that make it worth a small fortune. We've all done it, flipped through our coin jar, looking for something that's worth more than a couple of cents. But what if I told you that one of the most ordinary coins in your pocket could be hiding something extraordinary? Yes, that 2006 Thomas Jefferson nickel could be the key to your wealthy lifestyle. Let me set the scene. You've been going about your day, maybe you just paid for lunch or grabbed a soda. And then, there it is, tucked into your change, the 2006 Jefferson nickel. You barely think twice about it, right? After all, it's just a nickel. But what if I told you that one of these nickels has sold for over $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right. That seemingly insignificant coin could turn your financial future upside down. But don't wait too long. These kinds of opportunities don't stick around forever. So why is this nickel worth so much? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error that occurred in 2006. You see, the US Mint accidentally struck some of these coins with the wrong die, making them much more valuable than their face value. It's not just about the year, the mint mark, or even the design of the coin, it's about rarity. When a mistake like this happens, it creates a coin that's so rare, collectors are willing to pay an astronomical amount for it. In fact, the highest-selling 2006 Jefferson nickel went for an unbelievable $1.4 million. But here's where it gets even more exciting: you don't have to be a coin expert to find one of these. In fact, you could have one in your pocket right now. Imagine pulling out a nickel and realizing you've just stumbled upon a treasure worth hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. Now, don't get too excited yet. I know some of you are probably already rushing to your pockets. But hang on. You don't want to get all nickel and dime with this one, okay? Let's make sure you've got the real deal. Okay, now let's talk about how you can find it. This rare 2006 Jefferson nickel has one simple identifying feature: a small, almost imperceptible die error on the coin's reverse. If you're looking carefully, you'll notice a slight blurring of the image, particularly around Jefferson's home, Monticello. Now, pay attention, this is where you need to act fast. Even if you find one, the window of opportunity might not last long. Collectors are hunting for these coins, and their value is rising every day. But wait. There's more. Finding this coin is just the first step. How do you get it in front of the right buyers? You'll want to make sure it's professionally authenticated, and most importantly, you want to know when the best time is to sell. Trust me, timing is everything. These coins don't just sit around in circulation, they get snapped up fast, and when you know the right people or use the right channels, you can turn that nickel into life-changing money. It's not just about finding a rare coin. It's about strategizing your next move and positioning yourself for success. And that's the beauty of this, you don't need a fortune to start. All you need is the right knowledge, the right approach, and the right mindset. Because just like that 2006 Jefferson nickel, opportunities are waiting in plain sight, ready for you to seize them and change your financial future. Now, here's the million-dollar question, do you have what it takes to find it? We're about to uncover a coin worth more than your car, your house, or maybe even your entire retirement savings. But the twist? It's a coin you might have lying around in your change jar right now. Yes, I'm talking about the 2007 Mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know if you're sitting on a potential fortune, up to $1 million. You know, we all love the thrill of finding a hidden gem, whether it's a rare baseball card in your attic or that lucky penny you found in the parking lot. But this? This is a whole different level. This 2007 Mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel is one of the most surprising finds in the world of coin collecting, and it could change your life if you're one of the lucky few. You won't believe how much this coin is worth. Let's rewind. The 2007 Thomas Jefferson nickel was part of a series released to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Jefferson's birth. At first glance, it looks like just another modern nickel, right? A simple coin with Jefferson's portrait on the front and Monticello on the back. It's the kind of coin you'd flip away without a second thought, but what if I told you that one small detail on that coin could be worth $1 million? Sounds impossible, doesn't it? But that's where this story takes a turn. You know what they say, one man's pocket change is another man's retirement fund. So, check your wallets, but don't blame me if you start pulling out every nickel and wondering if you just became a millionaire. So what makes the 2007 Mint Mark Jefferson nickel so special? It's all about a rare error, something that slipped past the US Mint. These errors are what make certain coins skyrocket in value. But before we dive into the specifics, let me ask you this. How many coins have you looked at and thought, nah, that's just a regular coin, only to find out later you were holding a fortune in your hand? The key to this coin's astronomical value lies in its minting error. Typically, coins are supposed to have a flawless design, right? But in some cases, a minting mistake can happen, and when it does, the coin becomes an instant rarity. One specific error on the 2007 Jefferson nickel is the misaligned die, where the image isn't stamped properly, or even more startling, missing details. These small errors create coins that are so rare, collectors are willing to pay up to $1 million for the right one. Now, hold on. Before you go digging through your pocket change, it's important to understand that not every 2007 nickel will be worth a fortune. You need the right combination of mistakes, rarity, and condition for it to be worth big money. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the part that'll have you on the edge of your seat. There's one detail in particular on the 2007 nickel that's been found in only a handful of specimens. Could yours be one of them? Let's dive into how you can spot the rare coins that are worth more than their weight in gold. We're getting closer, but before I reveal the secret to finding a valuable 2007 Mint Mark Jefferson nickel, let's talk about what you should do with a coin you think might be worth a lot of money. Are you holding on to a fortune? Or have you just been letting that valuable coin collect dust in your drawer? So, how do you find out if your 2007 Jefferson nickel is the real deal? Let's break it down. First, you need to look closely at the mint mark. The P stands for Philadelphia, but that's not the most important part. What really matters is whether or not the design was properly aligned or if it has a distinctive minting error, misaligned dies, a coin that's off-center, or has parts of the design missing. Full steps. For Monticello on the reverse, a coin with full steps is more valuable than one without. Condition. The better the condition, the higher the price. Remember, finding the right coin could mean selling it for up to $1 million. That's not a typo, but the reality is, not every 2007 Jefferson nickel will fetch this price. But here's the kicker, coins like this can be extremely hard to find, especially with these errors. So, what happens if you miss your chance? Imagine finding one of these rare coins and then doing nothing about it. You could be sitting on a potential goldmine, and let's face it, that's the kind of thing that would keep you awake at night. But don't worry. By the end of this video, I'll give you some key places to sell your coins for top dollar, so you don't miss out on your fortune. But here's the thing, it all starts with knowing what you have. So, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next valuable coin discovery. And, if you have a 2007 Jefferson nickel, you might want to start researching its value, because your $1 million coin could be just around the corner. The world of rare coins is full of opportunities, but the window for selling at top value won't stay open forever. The market for these coins can change at any moment, so act fast. Thanks for watching, and remember, your fortune might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Be sure to hit the like button if you found this video helpful, comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and share this with anyone who could use a little extra wealth in their life. Stay tuned for more tips, because in the world of coins, there's always another $1 million discovery waiting to be uncovered.